Good morning, Lynda Meikle here, your garden coach. As you know, we are in an extreme drought. It is mid-March, and here in Northern California, some counties are already on water restrictions, others are being asked to cut back by 20%. We live in a dry Mediterranean climate. And today I want to talk to you about xeriscaping, the principle of it, and a little bit about what it means. It's not zero-scaping, it's xeriscaping. Some people think of it as all rocks and cactus, but it's far from that. What it really means is water and energy conservation, and there are 7 main principles. Planning and design, appropriate plant selection, soil analysis and improvement, reducing the turf areas, efficient irrigation, the use of mulch, and the appropriate maintenance. So that's the 7 main principles of xeriscaping, and I won't go into detail as that could be a whole video in itself, but I do encourage you to check out the website or go and Google it and learn more. It has been around since the 80s, as have large turf areas, and what I want to encourage you today is reducing the size of your lawn, adding different things like dry creek beds, rocks, flagstone pathways, things like that to add interest, but also really thinking about watering efficiently. On the topic of water, as it is so precious here in California, it's very important to get the zoning correct. I have seen in some gardens watering the lawn and the planting beds are on the same zone. That is not a good use of our water. Pop-ups for the lawn should be in its own zone. The planting areas should be on their own zones, and a lot of people are using drip, which is a really good use of water. If you do want vegetable areas, which you can do in a drought, but you have to be water wise about it. That has to be on its own zone, and sometimes the containers, the pots, should also be on their own zone. So each area is watered most efficiently for what the plant is needing. So I just want to take you on a tour of this backyard that I have just transformed last week using these principles. As you can see from the before picture, this was a little bit underutilized by the homeowner. Adding a seat wall here and some beautiful flagstone to tie in with the existing edging of the patio with the rocks and the exposed aggregate, we created a secondary little sitting area with some fresh plantings behind the wall, Camellia espalier on the wall, on the fence, and a kind of a meadow. This will fill in eventually, but I've got a ground cover, creeping thyme, with some festuca grasses and some purple coral bells and some miniature lavender. So once this fills in, it is still going to be that green look of a lawn, but more of a meadow, low water area rather than a heavy, high water chemical maintenance headache. I found this beautiful flagstone called Mystic Blue, and we put big pieces for walkways and pathways. So just creating a nice meandering pathway to another seating area, left the mow strips that they had here, that was the edging for the existing lawn. And this is going to be a comfortable chairs are going to be brought in here, and a portable fire pit. I actually found these 2 pots that the homeowner had spread around. They were in other parts of the yard, and I've just put these pots here. I'm going to plant them, and it just nicely frames this extra seating area that we have added. I left quite a bit of the existing plantings that the homeowner had, but I just added a lot more. We've got roses that haven't started blooming yet, but shrub roses, which are fairly low water. We've got lavenders, We've got different plants, phormiums, to marry the colour of this beautiful little fountain that the homeowner has, and I even did a little herb garden in one area up there by the lounge chairs. So these two books I wanted to share with you. Landscape Plants for Western Regions, and a book put out by East Bay Mud, Plants and Landscapes for Summer Dry Climates, are good resources for here in California for low water plants in our summer dry climates. Here's some good examples in these before and after pictures, employing the principles that I just talked about. Creating the meandering dry creek beds using a variety of sizes, or adding some big boulders for interest, adding seat walls, fire pits, flagstone seating areas. Enjoy. Google Xeriscape and learn more for yourselves. Thank you for joining me, Lynda Meikle, your garden coach.